In this video, we'll take a look at some alignment and distribution tools in Photoshop. These simple tools allow you to make precise compositions from layered files quickly and easily. To practice, I've opened up marigold.psd, and that's in this week's demo files. You can see here I have a 4-layered file, each layer containing a different colored flower, plus a background layer. Now, these are just sort of randomly arranged on the canvas, but I'd like to introduce some order into the way that they're laid out. Specifically, I'd like a vertical column where every layer is spaced evenly apart from the others. I've got the Move tool active, and I have my Auto Select enabled, so I can click and drag on any layer to select it and move it around. And I could try very carefully to click and drag and line these up, but of course that's very tedious. And luckily, I can make Photoshop do most of that work for me. So I'll hit Control-Z on the keyboard in Windows or Command-Z on Mac a couple times to undo those changes. The tools for precisely aligning and distributing layers are right inside of the Move tool. So up here in the status bar, we've got this whole row of tools that I can use to align or distribute multiple layers. Simply put, alignment tools move layers to line up with one another, while distribute tools space layers evenly apart from one another. Right now they're all grayed out, and that's because I only have one layer selected. I need at least 2 layers for this to work. So I'll go over to my Layers panel, click on the top layer, hold down Shift, and click on the bottom layer, and that selects all 4 layers. So now my alignment tools are active, and I get the option to align these layers either along their left edges, horizontal centers, or right edges, or distribute them in different ways. So let's see what happens when I align horizontal centers. So Photoshop looked at the location of all those layers and figured out where the average middle point was and moved them all to line up onto that column. So they're all aligned vertically, but right now I can see that they're not spaced evenly, so they're not distributed vertically. You can see that these 2 are closer together, these 2 are farther apart. So remember, alignment moves distribute spaces. So I could use this Distribute Vertically button to fix that spacing. That takes the biggest vertical distance between my set of objects and divides it up so that each layer is spaced evenly. So with just 2 button clicks, I get this perfect column. Everything is lined up exactly, and I don't have to guess. Now I've got some additional controls for alignment and distribution, which I can get to by clicking the 3 dots in the status bar. This shows me a lot of similar options that I see by default in the Move tool, plus some additional ones, so I can align or distribute based on different vertical or horizontal properties. For example, if I align the top edges, now all the layers are stacked right on top of each other, and that's not actually what I want, so let's go ahead and hit Control-Z on the keyboard in Windows or Command-Z on Mac to undo that. Now this drop down here under Align To lets us align or distribute layers relative to either a selection or the canvas. So if I set this to canvas, now I could align these to the middle of the canvas or to the right edge or left edge and so on. So if I go back to my 3-dot dropdown and switch back to that default selection mode, then I can bring in a selection to align somewhere else. So let's click on the rectangular marquee tool in the toolbar and just click and drag somewhere in the canvas to make a selection. Then I'll click back to the Move tool in the toolbar. Now if I click Align Left Edges, that will align with the left edge of that selection, or the right edge, or the middle. Once you know some of these simple tools, you can start to see just how easy it is to make sweeping compositional changes that would otherwise be really difficult to do manually. Okay, that's an overview of using the alignment and distribution tools in Photoshop.